My name is Robin Seville. I decided to share my experience with Taylor Bean Whitaker, Round Point Servicing, and their legal representation, Lundberg Firm. My plan is to post a series of videos that will be released when I feel the time is right. The videos will cover the details of my experiences concerning their fraud, lies, and deceptions, and the many contradictions. I have kept very good records and recorded most of the phone conversations that I've had with them. If you are having trouble with your mortgage company, I encourage you to keep meticulous records and record your phone calls. So in a nutshell, several years ago, I looked to either do a refinance or a short-term modification of my home loan. The business I owned was named the #1 business in Utah for our industry by Utah Business Magazine for 11 consecutive years. I was making some changes and the economy was taking a downward turn at the time. I had never missed a mortgage payment or had ever been late. I ran a successful business and I try to be an honest person. Today I work as a producer and reporter at our local ABC News affiliate. Ironically enough, I sometimes investigate and report fraud stories. Being a responsible homeowner, I wanted to be proactive and asked to see if I could explore my options with my mortgage. I will go into greater details on other videos, but in short, Taylor Bean Whitaker advised me and then ill-advised me, and then took advantage of the situation once I followed their advice. This seems to be a common theme for many homeowners. Consequently, I eventually received a restraining order from a Utah judge against Taylor Bean Whitaker. The day I received the order, Taylor Bean Whitaker was seized by the FBI for fraud. A few weeks later, they filed for bankruptcy. Despite the restraining order, they illegally put a foreclosure on my credit 1 month later, a foreclosure that never happened, nor could it. But try to explain that to banks when you need to get a business loan or a personal loan. All they see is the foreclosure on your report. I went to the bankruptcy proceedings for Taylor Bean Whitaker in Florida. While there, the main attorney for TB&W acknowledged that my loan fell into a, quote, bucket of loans that have mistakes. He would not go into details, but he promised to reach out to me in about a month. I never heard from him, and the person that was with me, who was a mortgage fraud expert, never heard from him either. But yet, I have his business card right here. TB&W executives were found guilty of fraud about that time, and many of them are serving time in federal prison for up to 30 years. Now fast forward to today. Like I said, future videos will fill in the details. I finally received a bogus modification offer from TB&W, Round Point, and their legal representation, Richard Gunnarsson of Lundberg Firm. They accepted no responsibility for their many mistakes, fraud on my credit, and their lies. What they gave me was a predatory sham modification offer, an offer they admitted in an email, right here, that I could not afford. It was 75% of my monthly income. Wise lending practices should not exceed 31% of someone's gross income. With all the news of corruption with banks and mortgages, it is unbelievable they would knowingly make an offer they know someone can't afford. And it's a shame that their legal representation would forward that offer. I ask, who would benefit from an offer like that? It wouldn't be me, it'd be the bank, their servicer, and the law office. In this case, I would suffer and would eventually default. And in their offer to me, I would also have to agree not to litigate against them for damages. Obviously, they believed there were damages, or they would not require I drop all litigation. Again, as I would eventually default with that predatory offer, they wanted to make sure I signed my rights away for their previous lies and fraud, and I could not fight legally to keep my home. I say shame on Taylor Bean Whitaker, and shame on Round Point Servicing, and shame on Lundberg Firm in Salt Lake City, a law firm founded by a man who claims moral and religious convictions. You epitomize the scams perpetuated upon good people across this country. You entrap people and then through legal maneuvering bound them to financial chains and the inability for them to keep their homes. I question your moral character. I've consistently said to Taylor Bean Whitaker, Round Point, and Lundberg Firm that my goal is to come to a fair agreement, but they must accept responsibility for what they have done. My hope still remains that we can come to an agreement. More videos are coming where I show the emails and play the audio recordings I have.